Good morning, my fellow Americans. Oh, you about to get this bonnet talk today. Because why did I wake up to so much controversy about voter ID? We still got the left out here being just as racist as the day is long, talking about black people. We don't know where the DMV is. How did you spell DMV? Stop it. Stop it, lefties, liberals, Democrats. Stop using us as your poster child for all things to get votes in the worst ways. Because first of all, why are you gerrymandering and drawing maps and saying it's because of the black people? Why are you saying that we do not need voter ID laws because of the black people? Quit putting it on us. Y'all want votes in the most illegal of ways. That's all it is. But you want to keep using us as your poster children to get them. And I suggest you stop immediately. Quit playing with your racism all up in our faces. And people act like they don't see which side is the side that stays focused so much on race that they are racist just on any given day for any given reason because they can use black people for any given season. Get your life.
She gave me that look that my mama gave me so many times over the years. Boy, get your life. That right there sets the tone because the entire debate flips depending on who you listen to. Just being honest. One side frames it as protection, another side frames it as limitation. But what gets real interesting, is when the people supposedly being spoken for start speaking for themselves. I want y'all to take a look. Hold on, I got to get my screen together. Take a look at this.
Now, as a black man who unapologetically voted for Donald Trump, I get this one question at least once every couple of weeks. And the question goes like this. This is how I hear it in my head. When was America ever great for the black man? Now, this is my response just about every single time. This is how I hear it in my head. Right now, America is great for the black man right now. Mm-hmm. Now, if you did not believe that, or the individual in question did not believe that America was ever great for the black man, you would have left a long time ago. So until the plane ticket, the one-way ticket is purchased, I don't believe you. I don't. And I'm tired of it. Now, has America ever been not so great for the black man? Sure. But that day's not today.
Now that's perspective. And whether someone agrees or disagrees, that's not even the point yet. The point is the narrative tension. One message says America fundamentally fails black citizens. Another says it's opportunity sitting right in front of us. Those aren't small differences. Those are not. Those are very different worldview differences. And once you step outside opinion and into real world reactions, things get even more revealing. Yes, they do. I want y'all to check this out. This is a clip that we seen, I want to say maybe a year or two ago. However, it's the context in it is perfect.
An opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, an ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy canvas?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that, on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's what my thought process was.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm hearing a lot. Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you know, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, like, but you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Are you
Love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you have to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Hey. Now this music right here makes me think about what's that Italian restaurant that I always go to? Olive Garden. It's way more like Italianos or Saint Cecilia. Anyhow, for the Italian lovers, this is where things stop being theoretical, because now we're not talking pundits, we're not talking politicians, we're talking everyday people responding in real time. And what you saw was a complete disconnect. One group describing barriers, another group looking at those claims like they're borderline insulting, because they are. That gap, that perception gap, is what fuels the entire national argument right now, which brings us directly to the legislation at the center of it. Let's zoom in.
We've got to get this done, and we've got to get it done very quickly. The SAVE Act is an abomination. It's Jim Crow 2.0 across the country. We are going to do everything we can to stop it.
Okay, so this is the Democrat leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, and he's lying through his teeth. The SAVE Act is not Jim Crow 2.0. The SAVE Act and Jim Crow are nothing alike. The Jim Crow laws were like state and local statutes that were enforcing racial segregation. On top of that, they would disenfranchise Black Americans through things like poll taxes, literacy tests, grandfather clauses, and violence. That was truly rooted in white supremacy, and it targeted Black Americans to suppress their voting rights and their civil rights. Now let's compare that to the SAVE Act. It's essentially a modern election security measure focused on providing proof of citizenship to be able to register to vote in the United States. So here are a couple highlights of what the SAVE Act does or requires. It requires voters to provide proof of citizenship, for example, a passport, birth certificate, or certain real ID compliant documents that indicate citizenship. And this needs to be done in person. So when registering to vote or updating voting records, it needs to be done in person and you need your proof of citizenship. It prohibits states from accepting or processing voter registration applications without this proof. It effectively ends or severely limits mail-in registration, online registration, and automatic voter registration like at DMVs unless proof is provided in person. It also requires states to set up alternative processes for other evidence of citizenship if it's needed. And I've been seeing things go back and forth, but I also think it's being added in that it will require voter ID to vote. Like when you go vote, you have to have your ID. This is not discriminating against people based on race. But Chuck Schumer is trying to lie and manipulate people into reacting emotionally to oppose it because he doesn't think it's in Democrats' best interest. And I mean Democrats' political power. Look at this image. What does it say behind him? Rein in ICE, stop violence. Look at the first thing, in the roving patrols. Why do Democrats want to rein in ICE? Because they want less people being deported because it's going to hurt their census numbers when it gets to 2030. It also gives every time someone's deported, that's one less person they can convert from amnesty and have a future voter. So think about it. He wants us not deporting a bunch of illegal immigrants. And then on top of that, he wants our elections less secure. Put those two things together, and what does that make you think? That's interesting, is it not? As a whole, the Democrat Party wants to leave a bunch of illegal aliens in the US and their states, and they want our elections less secure. That's concerning. Chuck Schumer is on stage lying through his teeth, trying to emotionally manipulate people into opposing us having better election integrity. Questionable, is it not? But that's all I got for now. Don't forget I have a free email newsletter. I send this out every morning at 7 a.m. Link is in my bio.
Definitely go check that out. Because here's where the language becomes power. Because words like Jim Crow don't just describe policy. They trigger history, emotion, memory. Memory that we never lived through, by the way. So labeling matters for sure, but so does comparison. Almost said compassion, but comparison. Because once you place historical suppression next to modern election security arguments, people start asking, is this equivalence or escalation? I think that's a pretty fair question. Wouldn't you agree? Now, step away from ideology for a second. Let's look at something colder. Numbers.
SAVE Act is a great idea. 83% of Americans support it, as I learned on CNN this morning, and that includes, 76% of Black Americans, 82% of Latinos, 85% of white Americans. So to me, that's the move. Push the SAVE Act and force Democrats to admit that they are against what 83% of Americans want. I think this is all kind of just a distraction, a bit of nonsense.
Can I say,
SAVE Act is a great idea.
Yes, it is.
83% of Americans.
This is the curveball most debates don't expect because Poland doesn't carry emotion. It doesn't carry a narrative. It just shows where people land. And what that clip highlighted is something both parties wrestle with. Public opinion doesn't always have to align with messaging. Now, when messaging and reality collide, sometimes you get pushback, and sometimes that pushback gets personal. Watch.
Leader Schumer, you recently called the SAVE Act Jim Crow. Can you explain how it's Jim Crow to require an ID to vote in elections, to drive a car, to purchase alcohol, go to the DMV? Any comment on that?
Leader Schumer, you said you're on the same page as...
What do you think? Should we restore normal order in the Senate and actually go back to the standing filibuster?
you said that you're sending a proposal over there.
Leader Schumer, you recently called the SAVE Act Jim Crow. Can you...
Y'all have to excuse me. I'm a bit impaired, but my boy Schumer is built like a deep breath. Yes, I laugh at my own jokes. I don't care. This clip wasn't about dialogue, though. It was about symbolism. It represents a broader accusation circulating online that oppression to ID requirements implies low expectations of minority capability. That accusation, whether fair or not, has become one of the sharpest theoretical weapons, not theoretical, rhetorical, rather, weapons in this entire debate. And some voices are pushing that idea way further. So let's go there.
If there was a big switch, black folks should have switched with them, because the Democratic Party has taken you back to where you were doing worse now than you were doing slavery. Hell, you should have switched. You should have switched from Democrat to Republican. Maybe we're looking at a big switch now because the last election, where black people finally switched from the Democratic Party to a conservative party. Finally leave this bunch of perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots alone. Thug drugs, hoes, and rappers. Party Cardi B, party Offset, party Snoop and Dre, party Hakeem, party Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. It's a comedy show, man. It's an insane assault. Come to party Pete Buttigieg, party Rachel Levine, ugly man in a dress. Party Sam Brett, party of men who think they're women, women who think they're men. Party want to castrate children, want to murder babies at 9 months coming out of their mother's womb. Party they want to open up the border, bring fentanyl and drugs into the whole country and kill people. If there was a big switch, black folks should have switched.
My guy over here preaching for real. That's what I call escalation. That's not policy talk or reform talk. That's full ideological separation, calling for political migration. And this is where modern political shifts are happening. Not quietly. No, not gradually, but emotionally and very publicly. Now, before we, close this, the internet always, they always interject something unpredictable because politics today, it isn't just serious. It's cultural theater too. Now, let's roll it.
Hey, yo, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to get this to DJT. Get this to Donald J. Trump soon as possible. Hey, Donald Trump, listen here, bro. Hey, how much you paying per illegal? How much you paying per illegal? Cause I got about 50 niggas over here, tall ones, like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", that I know can run a Mexican down in 0.3 seconds, easy. We can round their ass up for you. All you got to do is let me know what the price is on their head. I got some niggas out here ready to get that money, man. You know what I'm saying? The dope game over with, Donald J. So let's make the new game catch it illegal, chase a Mexican, Venezuelan, Honduras, and whoever over here don't supposed to be over here. Let's start paying the Americans to run them down and tie them up.
Hey, they don't have to be none of those. They can show our skin color too now.
Let's lasso their ass. Let's do some shit like that right there, man. Take this shit back to the Western days. You heard what I'm saying? Hey, get at me, man. Let's get at me now. I'm talking about you gotta at least be paying $100 per head. Cause nigga don't want to have to be chasing no motherfucking Mexicans all day long just to make $120 a day. No. $100 a head. We going to get them. We gonna catch their ass for real.
Now I want to tell y'all this. You're gonna see that video again. I should have used that as an intro. I'm gonna use that as an intro to another video for sure. So I am gonna use that clip format. I'm saying it early. This right there. I said right there. What did I just say? This right here, rather, is the internet in raw form. Satire, exaggeration, shock humor, all wrapped into political commentary. And while it's clearly comedic, it reflects how deeply policy discussions have entered everyday conversation. But let's end on something that pulls us back to tension, because narratives, they don't always move in one direction. Sometimes they collide head on. Watch the final clip.
ICE tried to kidnap my brother. ICE tried to kidnap my twin brother. So about 4 hours ago, men dressed in regular jeans and a regular shirt in a regular pickup truck tried to sideswipe my brother. When he didn't stop, they continued to pursue him because they were trying to kidnap him. Mind you, he is a Black American citizen. I'm going to play the video now.
I ran away. I'm running, like, driving whatnot. They chased me. They literally chased me. Running red lights. Yeah. I'm going through the the yellow light and whatnot. They running red lights. They going like 90. Trying to chase me down.
They were in a pickup truck?
They were in a pickup truck with a U-Haul.
Oh, that's ICE.
With a U-Haul thing in the back.
That's ICE.
Okay.
That's ICE.
But the thing is, the reason it happened was because we were trying to go across the same intersection. While I was driving, he tried to block me off before the light turned green. Before the light turned green, he tried to block me in.
Oh yeah, they trying to get.
He tried to block me in.
Yeah.
And so when I got around him, they sped up and then they hit the side of the car.
Wow.
Like they and then tried.
All I ask is that you guys comment what you guys are doing for Valentine's Day. Can you add any news source, ABC News, anything that any news source that you can, so that we can start getting some traction, because they are trying to kidnap us, y'all. They are trying to kidnap us.
Wow. And that's the other side of the national mood. Fear, distrust, concern about enforcement overreach. Well, I believe that happened to him, but I don't believe that they were pursuing him. I don't know. It's just something about that is cap. Whether verified or disrupted, stories like that travel fast because they tap into something deeper. Trust in institutions, trust in authority, trust in protection. And when you stack tonight's clips together, you don't get a clean answer. You get a picture of a country arguing with itself about identity, about security, about representation, about power. Different voices, different realities, same conversation though. And that conversation isn't slowing down anytime soon. So let me ask you this. When you look at all of this together, what do you think this debate is really about? Let me know in the comments. Now, outside of that, before you start that, I want you to write perspective. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to put perspective in the comment section for me. That way I know you made it to the end. It ain't even for the algorithm. And I probably won't do any more videos impaired, but I had fun. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.